All right, let's dive in. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the secret life of one of Taiwan's most beloved and, surprisingly, complex breakfast staples, the turnip cake. I mean, you've definitely seen it, right? Sizzling away on a griddle at a breakfast shop. You've probably even grabbed a slice with your morning milk tea. But have you ever stopped and wondered, what's the deal with this simple white cake? It's kind of the low-key champion of the breakfast table. And trust me, its story is way more fascinating than you'd ever guess. Okay, so let's talk about where it fits in. You've got your flashy egg crepes and your hefty fantoon getting all the attention. But the turnip cake, it's the steady, reliable friend that's always there for you. It's a true unsung hero of the breakfast scene. So what is it, really? I mean, on the surface, it looks pretty simple, but it is so much more than just a quick bite. Think of it as this perfect marriage between rice and vegetable, a dish that was literally born from centuries of history, migration, and pure ingenuity. And yeah, that history, that's where things get really interesting. We're not just talking about a recipe here. We're talking about a story that traveled all the way across the sea and changed and evolved right along with the people who made it. So the whole story kicks off in southern China. Back then, it was just humble food, something people made out of necessity. Then early settlers brought the idea over to Taiwan, and this was brilliant. They used it as a way to make their precious rice go further by mixing it with the super common cheap daikon radish. For a long time, it was something special, a food you'd only see during Lunar New Year. And now it's an everyday breakfast superstar you can find on pretty much any street corner. But why? Why was it a special occasion food? Well, this part is super cool. It's all about wordplay. So in Taiwanese Hokkien, the word for radish, chaitho, sounds almost exactly like ho chaitho, which means good fortune. And get this, the word for cake, gao, sounds just like the word for high or to rise. So when you eat it, you're symbolically wishing for a higher position and good fortune in the new year. It's literally good luck on a plate. All right, let's stir up a little delicious drama, shall we? Because, and this is important, not all turnip cakes are created equal. Nope. There's actually a friendly but serious rivalry between two major styles. It's kind of like a culinary civil war. So, in one corner, you've got the Taiwanese style. We'll call this one the purist. It's simple, it's elegant, and it's all about letting that pure, sweet flavor of the radish and rice just shine. The texture is key here. It's firm, dense, and has that amazing springiness. Then, in the other corner, you have the Hong Kong style, the extravagant. This version is just loaded with goodies. We're talking cured meats, dried shrimp, mushrooms, the works. It's complex, savory, and packed with umami right from the start. And texture-wise, it's way softer, almost creamy, basically melting in your mouth. So which side do you want? Team purist or team extravagant? Okay, here's a little piece of trivia for you. The name turnip cake is actually a total mistake. A beautiful one, but still a mistake. See, the cake is made from daikon radish, not turnip. But somewhere way back when, it got mistranslated into English and the name just stuck. And now that's the standard name you see on menus pretty much everywhere in the world. Wild, right? So we've covered the history, the different styles, but how do you actually make this perfect cake, this gao mo? You might be surprised to hear it's actually pretty simple, and this is a big but, it demands some real precision and honestly a bit of respect for the process. It really comes down to 5 main steps. First up, you grate a whole bunch of daikon radish. Simple enough. Step 2, you whisk up your rice flour batter till it's perfectly smooth. Now, step 3, this is where the magic happens. You cook the radish down a bit, then you slowly pour in that batter and you just keep stirring and you watch it transform from the soupy liquid into a thick, amazing paste. It's so cool. Step 4, you pack it into a mold and steam it for a good while. And then, the final and I mean most crucial step of all, you have to let it cool down completely. And that brings me to the single most important piece of advice I can give you. The real secret ingredient here, it's not the radish, it's not the rice flour, it's patience. You absolutely have to let that cake cool and set completely. I know it's tempting, but if you get impatient and try to slice it while it's still warm, you're going to have a sad, crumbly mess. Time is what gives it that perfect, sliceable structure. Okay, but here's the thing. Making the cake is only like 50% of the mission. The other half of the experience, the really fun part, is how you cook it and how you eat it. So let's talk about the rules of enjoyment. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to forge what locals call a golden armor. We're talking about that perfect, crunchy, golden brown exterior. So how do you do it? Secret number 1, get your pan nice and hot with enough oil. Secret number 2, and this is key, when you put the slices in the pan, don't move them. Just let them be. Let that crust form for at least 2 minutes. Secret number 3, listen. You want to hear that sizzle. That is the sound of deliciousness happening. Because the ultimate goal, the holy grail, is to achieve waisu ne ron, that's crispy on the outside and unbelievably soft and tender on the inside. But what about sauce? You can't have a perfectly seared turnip cake without the right partner. And it has one soulmate, and one soulmate only, a thick, slightly sweet, and super garlicky soy paste. I'm serious, it is the one true pairing. That savory sauce just cuts through the richness of the fried cake and perfectly complements the subtle sweetness of the radish. It's a match made in heaven. Okay, want to know how to order it like a true insider? The ultimate breakfast hack? When you're at a breakfast shop in Taiwan, you asked for lobo gal tia dan. That's turnip cake with egg. But here's the pro move. Ask for the egg on top, and make sure it's a runny one. Oh, man, the experience of breaking that yolk and watching it cascade all over the crispy cake, there's just nothing like it. It's sublime. All right, one last little fact for you, and it's a bit of a reality check. Because it's called radish cake, a lot of us think, oh, it's a vegetable dish. It must be pretty light and healthy. Well, don't be fooled. The main ingredient is still rice flour, and then it's pan-fried in oil. To put it in perspective, just 2 thick slices have about the same calories as half a bowl of rice. Yeah, it's a delicious, delicious diet trap. So let's wrap this all up. As you've probably figured out by now, this humble cake is so much more than just a breakfast food. It really is a symbol on a plate. Think about its journey. It started as this humble food of survival, and it has just completely adapted over time. It can be a super simple street food you get on a paper plate for $1, or it can be an elegant, high-end delicacy in a fancy restaurant. And that ability to be both simple and sophisticated at the same time, that makes it the perfect symbol of cultural resilience and adaptability. So, the next time you're at a breakfast spot and you see that white cake sizzling away on the griddle, I hope you'll remember what's really inside. It's not just a piece of cake. It's a slice of living history. It's packed with ingenuity, with hope, and of course, with incredible flavor. It really makes you wonder, right? What other foods out there carry such a powerful story?